Well, good evening, race fans of the internet. Welcome back to another featured presentation of the Southern Outlaw Auto Racing Street Stocks live on Talking Dirt TV. Tonight, Talking Dirt TV brings you an action-packed night of racing from the Volusia Speedway Park here in Barberville, Florida. Of course, I am your host, Mr. Ryan Williams. Joining me tonight, the co-host of the Talking Dirt podcast, the co-host of Talking Dirt TV, Mr. Matthew Pridgeon, rejoining us here as we get into a little bit of qualifying to start our night here, Matt, at the beautiful Volusia Speedway Park. 73 degrees in the air, which is a lot warmer than it is here right now. 5 miles an hour wind might make this one interesting, but here we go. Some quick times coming in already, Matt.
And so far, Brian Hacker, who's going to show up as number 17 on the scoring, is quick time. Andrew Rutherford just now taking second. Times are tight as can be.
Yeah, we're sitting here watching Joel Hodgson right now. Hodgson 13th after lap number 2. Here's Reed Christensen working his second lap in the Outlaw Performance number 30 machine. As Christensen down the front straightaway for the final time. That will be fourth for Reed Christensen. Good looking lap there for that young man. So Christensen's across Colton Martin, just completed his laps. He'll be second quick as we look in on Patrick Langley here in car number 22. Patrick around turns 1 and 2 here at the Volusia Speedway Park. Now down the back straightaway, that wide sweeping back straightaway here at Volusia. Matt's got to make you think here. Are we going to see that wall monster at Volusia come into play tonight?
As you say that, one of Austin Albritton takes the quick time over Brian Hacker so far.
Absolutely, yeah. Albritton quick time. Murphy currently fourth, working lap number 2. That's the TDTV entry for the Ridgeway Rocket. James Murphy to the pole, Matt. Wow, what a lap for James there. 19.88, 0.2 of a second quicker than Austin Albritton, who is currently in that second quick spot. What a lap. I was watching James. I said, this one's got to be fast, and it was. Now Brandon Zachary going to be one of the last guys here to take a time as Daryl Dillon's working lap number 2 there in the number 7 machine. Zachary down here, his first lap not too good. It was a 20.5. Second lap now for Daryl Dillon. Actually, I believe he might just be cutting some practice ones as we see the number 25 down the back stretch here, working his second of 2 laps here, Matt. So we talked about it. Murphy's quickest so far. Albritton, Hacker, Martin, Rutherford. Your top 5 right now. Some really, really close times. It's close all the way back here. Christensen at a 20.01. Langley at a 20.01. Dillon at a 20.02. Town and LeDuc, your whole top 10, Matt, separated here by less than 0.2 of a second, just about.
Yeah, man, you could definitely throw a blanket over these times, man. It just goes to show how close these drivers are.
Absolutely, I think we're definitely in for a nice little show here tonight at the Volusia Speedway Park. 25 street stocks signed in here tonight. A couple of pretty cool names to see here that we see weekly. You see Brian Hacker, he was third quick in qualifying. Hacker currently the points leader, 3 wins on the season. Round 1, round 3, and round 5. If we're going by the math here, Matt, really got to keep your eye on that number 17 car here tonight. He'll be 11 on your screen, but he scored a 17. Really going to have to keep an eye on him because remember, he's won every other race, and this, in fact, is that other race. So Brian Hacker definitely going to be one to watch. James Murphy going to be one to watch here. Not sure. Got to get some clarification if it is. Not sure if the back row challenge is in effect tonight, but James Murphy, so far, the quickest car is Daryl Dillon, still the only car on the speedway taking some practice here. But yeah, Murphy will definitely be one to watch as there goes your qualifying time here. Colton Martin, haven't seen him yet this season, but good to see Colton Martin in the house with us here tonight. Is your B main going to line up here? I believe all of these guys will go to the feature. I believe we'll start 25, or is it 24 here tonight, Matt?
Well, I got a count of 25, so
So it'll be 25 to the main. I believe all 5 of these guys will make it. Danny Brown,
yeah.
Joel Hodgson, Alston Baker, Brandon Zachary,
So,
Jonathan Goodman. So what we got going on here, Matt?
all right, so I just want to point out, after the race last week, we went in the admin chat, and you told Thomas he needed to start coming in as a spectator.
I did. He
Right.
still hasn't done it.
Right. In this case, if he had done that,
We wouldn't
we'd
have
be
a
going
B-man.
straight to the feature.
You're exactly right, man. Thomas Inkle, take notes there, buddy.
But
Yeah.
it will give these 5 guys a chance to get a few more laps in, get a better feel for the track than these other guys.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It'll give these guys a good feel of what this speedway is like here tonight, and I guess that never hurt nobody. Especially for a guy like Jonathan Goodman, he'll have a chance to work his way up into the 21st starting position if he can pass all these guys. But this puts this puts the pressure on Danny Brown here. Matt, I'm starting to wonder, are we even going to run this B main here? Because nobody has graded for it just yet.
Well, I did forget about this, but I think if nobody grids up, once the pace truck leaves the track, you can advance the session. So I think that's what they're gonna do here.
Okay, so I guess this gives us plenty of time to preview tonight's A main event. So let's actually go back and pull up the qualifying results from tonight. And we will just kind of preview some of these guys. Andrew Rutherford, we saw him be really, really quick on dirt last time. Remember, Lanier National Speedway just a couple of weeks ago. Andrew Rutherford was very good. Remember, Matt, he won the B main, came all the way to finish just outside the top 3 in 4th. Andrew Rutherford was blazing fast just a couple of weeks ago at the Lanier National Speedway. Reed Christensen, a mainstay on dirt. Reed's been racing dirt in real life for quite some time now. Just a couple of seasons ago, made an attempt to get into the Bud Kicker World of Outlaw Series here on iRacing. Unfortunately, that one didn't quite go to plan. From there, kind of picked up on the asphalt stuff, and here finds himself with the Southern Outlaw Street Stocks tonight. Back on dirt, Reed, though, one to watch, definitely. We saw Patrick Langley was really quick in qualifying, a guy that we haven't seen this season at all with the Southern Outlaw Street Stock. So good to see him in the house. We'll see what that 22 has in store for us here in tonight's feature event. Now, Daryl Dillon's a guy, Daryl Dillon, the only driver here tonight to actually stay on the track after his 2 qualifying laps and get some extra practice here. So maybe, Matt, Daryl Dillon's figured out something that the rest of the field has not. Jeffrey Town, our winner last Tuesday night. Jeffrey Town was very good on dirt back at Knoxville and had his fair struggles a couple of weeks ago when we went to Lanier. But tonight looks to be back up there racing for the win. There's Ricky LeDuc going to be right behind him. Ricky, a young man who had a great run last week. So, Ricky, starting 10th going to be a long haul here, but Ricky LeDuc might be one to watch to come from the mid-pack towards the front. Then a bunch of really good-looking names here. Of course, Michael Hall, a mainstay with SOAR. Justin McDuff's been good all season. Alan Carter, a dirt racer in real life. We're excited to see what that number 38 has in store for us. And then you got like Chris Stump. Chris Stump's been good all year. Kyle Bugg, he's really good on asphalt. Let's see how he is tonight. Brian Toller, let's see here. Not a winner yet this season, but Brian Toller definitely one to watch as he shows, flashes of speed just about every race. Let's see what he's able to get done here tonight. I mean, Elliot Viney back there, another real-life dirt racer. Dylan Sale, he's been good all season long, doing really good in points right now. I mean, the rest of these guys, Courier's been good. Wenzel had a rocky race back at Lanier. Let's see if he can improve it all tonight. And, of course, Danny Brown, Joel Hodgson, Alston Baker, Brandon Zachary, Jonathan Goodman, Thomas Ingle. All of these guys definitely have a shot to, pick up a big win here tonight because, hey, this many laps on dirt, you never know what can happen, Matt.
Yeah, there's never any telling. Looking through the chats here, I see James Murphy said no, so I'm assuming he's not taking the back row challenge, but also it's not good. It says he is dropped due to upload packet loss, so he is lagged out. Hopefully, he can get back in time to start this race.
I absolutely hope so, because there goes the gridding time here. It looks like we are about to get lined up for tonight's A-main event, minus James Murphy. That could be a big kicker towards the rest of this race. Now, let's pull up your grid just to show you who starts where. If Murphy's able to make it back here in these 2 minutes, he'll start on the pole. Austin Alberton on his outside, representing All Seeing Motorsports. Starting third in car number 17, the Empire Racing Team's own Brian Hacker. Outside of him, a young man out of the New England region here on iRacing, number 4 car, Colt Martin. Inside row number 3, it'll be Andrew Rutherford, the Michigan product, in car number 35. Outside of him, representing Southern Outlaw Esports, out of Savannah, Georgia, car number 30, it'll be Reed Christensen. In position number 7, rolling off inside row number 4, the Carolina's own Patrick Langley in car number 22. Pretty sure he's a real-life racer. I've heard that name a time or two, I can guarantee. Then you got Daryl Dillon on his outside, starting 8th in car number 7. Runner 5 inside will be Michigan's Jeffrey Town in car number 2. Ricky LeDuc, also out of Michigan, starting in the 10th spot. Michael Hall and Justin McDuff will make up row number 6. Rolling off row number 7, it'll be Georgia's Alan Carter in the number 38 machine. Outside of him, starting in 14th, it'll be Chris Stump in car number 98. Row number 8, Kyle Buck starts 15th in car number 05. Brian Toller starts 16th in car number 11. Back to row number 9, starting 17th, the number 49 out of Sumter, South Carolina. That'll be Elliot Vining. And starting 18th, Dylan Sale out of... He's out of the United States, Matt. He starts in car number 12 in 18th. Starting 19th, it'll be Ryan Courier, car number 14. Outside of him, in the number 03, it'll be Nathan Wenzel starting 20th. Starting 21st, Florida's Danny Brown in car number 33. Outside of him, 22 machine, or starting 22nd, the 24 machine of Joel Hodgson. That'll be Austin Baker, 23rd. Brandon Zachary, 24th. And your 25th and final starter tonight will be Jonathan Goodman. Well, Matt, I do believe that our pole sitter has made it tonight, so James Murphy will, in fact, lead us from the point as we begin a couple of pace laps here, and I believe we got one falling to the back. Al Britton looks like he will try to do it the hard way tonight, Matt.
Yeah, I think he's going to go for that. Well, obviously, he's going for that back row challenge, but yeah, like I said, James texted me earlier, said he's not going to do it tonight. He's going for the win.
Yeah, it's kind of come back to bite him the past couple of times he's raced with us when he's tried to do it. So James making the smart move here tonight, staying up front where he qualifies, and we'll see how it works out for him as we get set. There is your one to go to green, Matt.
And I'm just now realizing that my paints aren't showing up on green.
Well, luckily, mine are working pretty well here as we head down the back straight for the final time. Reminder, new front row, James Murphy, and now Colt Martin in car number 4 will be to James's outside. So the iRacing pace truck works its way through turn number 4 and into the infield. Ladies and gentlemen, Talking Dirt TV viewers, we're Green Flag Racing at Volusia here with the Southern Outlaw Street Stocks as they race down into turns 1 and 2, 2 and 3 wide all the way back. Hacker and Martin together for position number 2. Then it's Christensen and Rutherford battling right now for 4th and 5th. And right behind them, these guys fanning out 2 and 3 wide all over the Speedway. Lap 1 goes to James Murphy, Matt.
And Brian Hacker able to hang right there on James's tail on the outside there. Looks like Reed Christensen's not going to say wanting to choose the high side right now, but it does not look like it's doing that bad for him as they go 3 wide coming off of turn 4.
Absolutely.
Double file going into turn 1.
Yeah, we're still 2 and 3 wide Rutherford, Martin, Langley, Christensen, everybody right there together under a blanket. Call it a hornet's nest because these guys about to sting each other here as they come off turn number 4. Back up front, Murphy and Hacker about a second over third place Rutherford right now as Rutherford's got his hands full. Martin to the outside as we got caution. We've got one around. Let's see if we can find him here. Looks like Austin Baker, car number 28 here on the front stretch. Let's kick it in replay mode and figure out what happens here to that driver. Oh, that's not what I wanted at all. Press the wrong button here, Matt. Let's take it in replay once again. A little bit faster. There we go. We'll race down to turns 3 and 4. He's on the inside of the 33 of Danny Brown. Oh, yeah. Baker pushes hard. That number 28 car right into the 33, and he will be the caution car for tonight's first one. 5 laps in, but so far so good, Matt. Great racing going on behind your 2 leaders. Rutherford, Martin, Langley, LeDuc, Dylan, McDuff. As now we've seen Reed Christensen fall to the back. Reed Christensen might be having some connectivity issues as that young man driving the number 30 car now scored all the way back in 25th, Matt.
Yeah, not too sure about what's going on there. But I know that little hornet's nest, as you called it earlier, that they were in. And I swear if they could have gone 6 wide just now, I think they would have. We're all fighting for that position.
I absolutely think that you are 100% correct. These guys were all over each other in a big way there as we continue to work some caution flag laps here. There's your leader, Murphy. Hacker going to go to the outside. Murphy wants the bottom lane. So far, bottom seems to be the place to be at Volusia. Rutherford, Martin right there on row number 2. Langley back there as well. He's been fast since we've started here. He's got LeDuc on his outside. They're in card number 96. McDuff, Dillon, Carter, and Buck, your top 10 as we get set for our first restart of the night with the Southern Outlaw Street Stocks live from the big half mile at Volusia. These guys giving each other plenty of room. Been a great race so far, and we're about to crank it up as we get set to take the green flag out of turn number 4.
A great start by Murphy there. Is Andrew Rutherford going to try to give Hacker a run for his money there, but Hacker able to get the momentum coming off of turn 2 is going to fall in line. A little bit of contact a little further back. Got a car up there. I think that's Colt Martin washing up there, losing a good bit of positions there. Ooh.
Oh, we got a big pile up on the front stretch here, Matt. Big pile up. The 5 of Hall, the 12 machine of Sale. I believe Albritton caught up in it too. Tough break for your original outside pole man. Brian Toller catches a piece as well. But let's take a look back here and see what happens. It's triggered, it looks like, between contact between Michael Hall and let's see if we catch a number as they come off turn number 4 here. The 5 of Michael Hall, the 13... or the 03, actually, of Nathan Wenzel. Looks like the 03 of Nathan Wenzel and the 5 of Hall get together. And then from there, it is on, my good friend. He gets run into by the 2 of Town, up into the 12 of Sale. And here comes that 11 of Toller. Nowhere to go. Looks like a little bit of contact down between a couple of cars on the inside of them as well. And where does Albritton come into the mix here? Austin Albritton looks like he's spun via a different incident there. But yeah, tough break for everybody involved here, especially Michael Hall there. He was having a pretty decent run there inside of the top 15 and now finds himself repairing some damage on the number 5 machine. Sale going to stay out. Toller going to stay out. Albritton going to stay out as well. So those guys, not bad enough damage to think they need to pit at this stage in the race. Some good-looking wraps here among this bunch as well, Matt. James, obviously the TDTV, one of our close personal friends. Good to see him rocking the colors here tonight. Reed Christensen getting his laps back. That is a great-looking paint job there on the number 30. Of course, TDTV on that one as well. But how about Brian Hacker's ride here? Good-looking car for him as well. Patrick Langley, I like the style of that number 22. Good looking ride there for him. Daryl Dillon and Ricky LeDuc with similar paint schemes like both of those. I mean, a lot of these guys very skillful with the paintbrush here on iRacing. Is Reed Christensen still trying to catch up to the tail of the field here, as it looks like he will finally do so. As Matt, we are set to take the green flag out of turn number 4.
James Murphy with an early start that time. A little bit of contact between the 7 and the 22. That'd be the 7 of Dillon, the 22 of Langley, but they straighten everything out. Dillon with the fourth position there.
Absolutely, yeah. I saw that on the. That's what the ooh was about. I saw that off the start. Those two making contact, and they are able to figure it out for the time being. And then behind these guys, Stump, McDuff going at us. We got one on the inside wall. 25, Brandon Zachary will draw another caution here, Matt. Zachary spun around on the front straightaway a few times and finds himself up against the inside guardrail. Let's take a little look back as the rain falls here tonight in real life. Oh, yeah, contact between he and the 49. Ooh, yeah, the 49 machine of Elliott Vining involved there. Tough to see that for old E-Dog, as he finds himself involved in a caution here on lap number 15, Matt.
Yeah, and I was looking up a while ago. They only get one fast repair this race, so I think a lot of guys are gonna, choose to stay out till about, at least halfway point. So,
well,
I don't think you're gonna see anybody.
You never know, because you've seen Michael Hall take his fast repair already. That number 5 car from the last incident took his already, so he will be SOL if anything else happens here. I'm not gonna.
Caution laps are counting.
Caution laps are in fact counting, as Reed Christensen looks to get another wave around for himself, as we're still working the caution here. Gonna come around, I believe, one to go to green next time by. Let's see what's going on here. Did we have an exchange for the lead during that last run, or are they saying that James jumped the start here, Matt? Because I did.
I'm not sure.
I did not see.
I mean, I don't know what the driver rules are as far as protocols for restarts. If he could not fire until the center of 3 and 4, then yeah, he did jump early, so that would give Brian Hacker the lead.
If it was my race, it'd be after the pace car came off the speedway, and in that case, he probably did. I don't know. We'll get clarification on that just a little bit later, but I believe about to restart this race here into, I believe, lap number 18 of 80 tonight at Volusia. Green flag is back in the air, and we race down into turns 1 and 2. Great jump there for Brian Hacker. Murphy in second. Dillon challenging. Right behind him is Rutherford in the 35 car. Daryl Dillon in car number 7. Dillon gonna peek up underneath Murphy. Everybody rolling through the middle of turns 3 and 4 here. They come back down the front stretch. We got Daniel Brown with an incident here. Brown off of the speedway, as there is caution, I believe, for that number 33 car who has towed in here. But once again, caution on lap number 19, Matt.
Not really able to. Go ahead.
I was about to say, not 100% sure what triggers the caution there. Probably is Daniel Brown, but he is off of the speedway, has been for quite some time. So not really sure why we are back under yellow, but hey, I guess because another chance to talk about some of these great competitors here, Matt.
Daryl Dillon's having a good night for himself. He's finding himself in the top 3 here with a lot of speed. Might give old Murphy a run for his money.
Absolutely could. Yeah, Daryl Dillon's having a great run right now. Andrew Rutherford also another good run. Patrick Langley still hanging around the top 5 right now. So, yeah, none of these guys can be counted out just yet, as believe we're set for yet another restart here. Out of our 4th caution of the night. Whoa, James Murphy. Ooh, that's going to be another penalty for Murphy. As that is a lane change. Well, I'm not sure what it's going to constitute there.
I'm not going to lie. It kind of looked like the 7 kind of moved up a little bit. That's where you saw that contact between him and the 35. So from the angle I'm looking at it, it's kind of hard to tell who was doing what there.
Well, we will let the professionals make those decisions as we race into turns 1 and 2 once again, working down lap number 22. It's a hornet's nest towards the mid-pack. Patrick Langley, Chris Stump, Ricky LeDuc. Back behind him, Alan Carter up 5 spots so far. Kyle Buck in 9th, up 6. These guys racing hard for position right now down the front stretch as we're looking at a hornet's nest in 1 and 2. You see Langley made a big move back down to the bottom. He's got Stump on his outside as they race into turns 3 and 4. Let's take the cameras. Ooh, maybe not. Let's keep the cameras right here because there's contact between Stump and I believe that was LeDuc on the top shelf there. As Patrick Langley's going to take spot number 6 away from him and now begin to work on Ricky LeDuc. Let's look back towards the front here. Ooh. Hacker in front of Murphy by just a little bit. Is caution going to fly again? This time, Joel Hodgson. Ooh, wow, Britton into him again. That's just adding insult to injury there for Austin. As I believe these two get caught up down in turns 1 and 2. Starts, I believe, with Al Britton. He's got contact between he and a car in front of him. Looks like Elliott Vining, a bit of an accordion effect down there. As you see the 1 spinning into the inside guardrail. 24 catches a big piece, gets a shot from Toller, and around with the 24 of Joel Hodgson. That is your caution flag here. As we were just getting into what looked to be some very promising racing. As Hacker was out by about, I don't know, 0.2 of a second there over Murphy. But James not letting him get out of arm's reach here. We're in for an exciting conclusion to this race once we're able to get there. But this battle that we're seeing back here, Matt, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th, absolutely all over each other right now.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say the same exact thing. I wasn't even paying attention to the lead there. I was watching that battle they had going on there. It was getting pretty fun there to watch.
Absolutely, yeah. Extremely fun to watch these guys putting on a spectacular show. If you like what you're seeing, you're tuning in for the first time, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button as well on this video. Go ahead and share it around to your friends. But, yeah, hit that subscribe button, tap that notification bell so you never miss an exciting race on TDTV just like this one. And we'll be back this coming Thursday, DOB Big Block Modifieds live on TDTV. And, of course, next Tuesday, we'll be back with the Southern Outlaw Street Stocks. That will be round number 8 from the Oxford Plains Speedway back to asphalt for the SOAR Street Stocks. As Matt, we get set for another restart here. Murphy and Hacker still on the front row.
Well, it looks like Murphy tried to time him up there, but Hacker with the amazing start there. Dylan going to try to battle James Murphy a little bit there for second place, but James able to keep the momentum off of turn 2. Dylan's still hanging on his quarter panel, though. But Murphy's going to cut him off there.
I like this middle line right now, though. I like this middle line a little bit better than the bottom. As we said, as we start to work towards a lap traffic car, as the caution flag, Matt, going to wave once again. Let's look back through the mid-pack and see if we can find out who it was here. As Elliott Vining comes to a stop, let's see if he was, in fact, the cause of our 7th caution here tonight. Yeah, Elliott looks like he is, as he is racing in turns 3 and 4. You see the 14, the 2 machine. There's contact between 38 and 2 into the 49. And, yep, it is Vining spun out on the front straightaway to bring out our 6th caution of the night. Excuse me, I said 7, meant 6. Our 6th caution of the night is Elliott Vining in the 49. Hate to see it. I believe race control needs to start making some moves here, Matt. As we're getting into that dangerous territory. Might be time to go single file in this race here. I know I hate it for guys like Murphy and some other guys that were making spots up on these restarts, but 6 cautions here in 20-something laps. We got to be working towards some single file for the remainder of this one as we double it back up for this restart. We'll see how the cookie crumbles on this one as Murphy, he's got to do, if he's trying to time up Hacker, he's got to do a little bit better this time, as that last restart, he fell right into the clutches of Dylan, but somehow able to retain second for this 6th restart of this race.
Yeah, and a lot of race left. We're not even halfway to the finish yet, so hopefully these guys will race a little level-headed and a little give each other a little bit of room.
Absolutely.
Hacker off with a great start there.
Yeah, we're absolutely hoping that these guys are able to put on some good racing here and keep it clean and green right now. As you see, 3 wide, Rutherford Langley stumped down on the bottom here. Is Langley with a good run through the middle. He's going to get back into position number 5. He's going to clear Chris Stump, and he's going to start working on Ricky Leduc in car number 98 as Leduc goes way high, drifts up the speedway. Stump trying to get back to his quarter panel. He's going to have a little contact there between he and the 22 of Langley. That's going to cost Langley as here comes on the bottom Andrew Rutherford in the 35 through a little bit of a slider there as the 22 tries to go back down. Contact between he and Stump Matt. Some good racing right now for 4th and 5th.
Yeah, these guys almost went 3 wide again in turns 1 and 2. And a caution.
Elliott Vining again in the 49 car. Elliott Vining spun out over there in turn number 2 along with Colt Martin. So Vining and Martin look like they get together here as we are just shy of the halfway point. Let's see here. I believe it triggers with Martin. Colt Martin up there gets way sideways. Little contact from, I want to say that's the 12 machine. And yeah, the 49 and the 24 all spinning into it at the very end of that incident there. 35 laps in the books here. Brian Hacker continues to lead us here. I'm trying to get some clarification on what the deal was with that penalty earlier given to Murphy, and I will get back to you guys on that.
Yeah, again, a lot of race left, a lot of potential green flag laps, and like to see as many of them as we can get, as these guys can put on some good battles. They just haven't had the chance to let these battles ensue.
Absolutely, yeah, man. You were absolutely right. If we could get, a nice long green flag run to round this one off, I believe we'll see some fantastic racing pretty much all the way back here. You still got some really good guys that are trying to work their way back towards the front. Namely so, Reed Christensen. Remember, he had those issues with his network earlier in the night that put him a couple of laps down. He's back on the lead lap now. He's worked his way back up to 13th. So we are intrigued to see just how far that number 30 machine can go. So back double file once again here at Volusia. Let's see if we can have us a nice clean and green run and see how much more exciting this race can be, man. Third, behind 1 and 2, these guys have been trading positions back and forth here. Daryl Dillon, I told you to watch him earlier. He's up 5 spots into 3rd for this 7th restart of the race as the 11 and 65 into turn number 3 into 4, and we are back green flag racing. Lap number 38 of 80, just shy of the halfway point, Matt.
And Hacker and Murphy off to a great start there as they have another caution.
And it's Vining again. The third one that Elliott gets caught up in here tonight is he and the number, I believe that's the 25 of Brandon Zachary, into turn 2. Zachary hits the binder, slides down the track right into Vining's nose, and Vining will go around. That's what triggers this one. 8th caution? Yeah, 8th caution of tonight's 80-lap main event. So we'll see here if they do decide to finally send it single file or not. As you see, I believe that's the number 4 of Colt Martin right there behind Elliott. Colt a couple of laps down here in the number 4 car after repairing some damage a little bit earlier. Vining there in the 49, his 3rd incident. He's been involved in here tonight. Got to ask how beat up that 49 is right now. 25 of Zachary, I believe his second he's been involved in here in tonight's main event. So, Matt, it looks like prayers have been answered. These cars stay in single file right now. I don't see any lights on that iRacing pace truck. Is I believe we may. Yeah, I believe we're one to go to green here, Matt. So single file restart. Let's see if this might be the answer to all of our problems so far tonight.
I think they delayed it.
Oh, they delayed it?
Yeah. Yeah, they did.
So we are delayed from the green. So maybe we'll try it this time. Might have had some guys out of line here. Everybody low on the speedway here. Not exactly sure what's going on. I believe we got a couple of wave around cars that are taking their extra laps. I can find out exactly who that is. I believe it's Danny Brown, car number 33, taking a wave around there. As we look back on with your race leader, Brian Hacker, as he and James Murphy get set to lead this field to green once again.
Oh, to a start. Here's LeDuc trying to get underneath the 7 of Dylan there. Not quite able to get up to his nose, but he's still up under his quarter panels going off into turn 3. Dylan going to choose to run the middle there. LeDuc stays on the bottom. Nothing going for the LeDuc there as he's still on his quarter panel.
Absolutely. As we were watching from the rear view of Brian Hacker's number 11 machine, as now we'll look back at that battle. Dylan in third, LeDuc in fourth. Rutherford right now in the 5th spot as he looks inside of the number 96. And they will be door to door down the front straightaway here in the turns 1 and 2. 44 of 80 now in the books as Chris Stump tried to challenge there. Stump had to hit the binders for the 35 of Rutherford as Rutherford got a little bit sideways there in turns 1 and 2, but he's turned the burners right back on as he and Ricky LeDuc battling for position number 4 down the front stretch. Give it to Rutherford here, man. That bottom still got a little life in it.
It sure does, but all this battling going on has allowed the 22 of Patrick Langley to get his name into the mix, and McDuff is right behind them, and he's trying to catch him too.
Yeah, Rutherford slides right up in front of the 96 of LeDuc. Langley with a good run right behind him. That's Patrick Langley on the outside behind that number 35 in the orange and white machine as he works on LeDuc and Rutherford, trying to find a lane to get by both of these guys as he looks inside of Rutherford. There's contact, but those two expertly able to avoid any mischievous damage there as they race back into 1 and 2. 22 leans on the 35. Now contact with the 98 here, Matt. Langley has a fast machine, but he has got to play it safe here, Matt.
Yeah, this battle's getting a little intense. Now McDuff is in the mix. Buck's in the mix, and the 2-car Jeffrey Town, they're all in the mix now.
They absolutely are. McDuff, a guy we've been quiet about so far tonight, up 4 spots so far into 8th in that number 8 machine, the red, green, and yellow car there. Kyle Buck up 6 spots right now in 9th as they race down the front stretch. Let's take a quick look back at the race lead here, Matt. It's down to about a 0.2-second advantage here as you see James Murphy pulls in on your race leader in turns 3 and 4. We got a battle for the lead.
And Brian Hacker's still running that bottom line. Looks like James is trying.
Here we go.
Was trying to run the middle line, but now he's going to duck down underneath Brian Hacker. But that bottom line's just not there in 1 and 2. I think that middle high line's where you want to be right now.
I think James needs to move up just a little bit. Get his left front in the slick, the rest of the tires out of the slick in turns 3 and 4. That's your ticket. Here in 1 and 2, he's good. He's going to have a run. He's going to get to that rear corner. He's going to get to the right rear here. Hacker's going to drift up just a little bit and close him off, and we're in for a spectacular race here. James must be listening because he heard what I said, and here comes the 65. He's got to run down the front stretch, man. This is about to get good as they were just about door to door as they race into turns 1 and 2. Murphy still on the top shelf here, Matt, as they race down the back stretch. How about this one at Volusia?
Had that high lines coming in real handy. I'm gonna be honest. James races a lot of dirt, so he's got he had that little bit of advantage over Brian Hacker.
So does Brian. Brian's got experience there too.
Oh, he does.
But I do believe that James may be cheating a little bit listening to what I said. He's got to have the volume on because I told him where to go and he's doing it. And it's working right now for the 65, but that 11 still hanging tough here, Matt.
Yeah, he sure is. His front bumper's right dead in the middle of James's door panel there, crossing the start-finish line. Now Brian Hacker's nose is a little bit ahead, but James is going to pull off up there on that top side.
If James can ever clear him, he might have a shot here, but Hacker hitting his marks on the bottom. James hitting his marks on the top, and there's a bit of a rundown from the bottom this time. Hacker able to clear him. This is about to get even more interesting as here comes Daryl Dillon in the number 7 car. Little contact there between your leader and Matt.
Yeah, just ever so slightly, though, but Brian Hacker's able to pull off from the bottom there as he's almost got James cleared now. We got a car coming to a stop up here in the top of turns 2. Hopefully he doesn't get... Oh, that was close.
That was close. That was, I want to say, the 28 of Austin Baker's. Baker's still slow. No caution has been thrown. Is Murphy still on the top? Just too much on the bottom for him to contest, but this race for the lead has been probably the race of the year here with the Southern Outlaw Street Stockers. There you see James get a really good run out of turn number 2, down the backstretch, pulls even into 3 and 4, but Hacker on the bottom as James goes way high. Now we got caution for Austin Baker in the number 28 car as he finally pulls in. We saw him come to a stop on the racetrack, and that will trigger the caution here, but Hacker sees it now, Matt. Hacker sees that James had a little speed on the top. How does he play defense here for these final, 21 or 20 to go once we take this green flag? Does he play defense and go to that top, open up a door on the bottom for James, or do we see the same race that we did? And hey, man, I would be ecstatic with that because this probably, that green flag stretch, probably the race of the year so far with these Southern Outlaw Street Stocks.
So what I'd do if I was Brian Hacker here in this situation, keep running the same line he's running already. Just roll that middle to high line ever so slightly. Make your car as wide as possible.
Well, and the big thing here for Hacker, the big thing here is don't beat yourself. Make James beat you. If James is going to get around you, make him earn it. And
biggest one is don't look in the mirror.
Oh God, dude, you are kidding.
No matter who's behind you, no matter what position.
Do you understand how many times I've been in this position, looked in the mirror, and like you're not nervous in your head, but your hands start shaking, your legs start shaking, trying to hit the loud pedal. It was I've been in this situation a couple of times, and it's nerve-wracking to say the least, whether it be a real life or on the sim. I get the same nerves on the sim as real life. It's pretty crazy, especially I might get it in that big race that you and I are planning to do here in a month or 2. That should be fun. But we're here tonight for the Southern Outlaw Street Stocks, working our 9th caution, still single file for this restart though. And I think, Matt, we are definitely going to pick right back up where we left off as that top side really starting to come in here at Volusia. But in these street stocks, man, you can run just about anywhere. As Hacker instantly on the loud pedal, green flag, gonna fly. Murphy right back to it, but a great jump here for Brian Hacker.
James Murphy going to go right back to his right rear on that little cushion there. Brian Hacker's off to a 0.6 second lead already. Daryl Dillon going to get up to James's quarter panel here coming off of turn 4.
And I think James ought to, go back down to that bottom right now and protect and try to gain some ground here on Hacker as Dillon and LeDuc were right there with him. There's a little bit of contact back here. Kyle Buck, Justin McDuff, Jeffrey Town. A little bit of an accordion effect between some of those guys. Let's see what's going on back here. We got 2 spun out in turn number 2, Colt Martin. And I want to say, let's see, is that Dylan Sale over there? Yeah, it is. It's Dylan Sale in the 12. 2 cars spun out at the bottom of turn number 2. We'll restack them and repack them once again. 10th caution of the night. And that time, Matt, Brian Hacker was out to a tremendous lead over Murphy. Maybe James Dunn run off everything he had under the hood of that number 65. But my guess is with this late race run, he will be back. And so, man, Daryl Dillon, Ricky LeDuc, too. Any of these guys can get up there and challenge Hacker at any moment, man. These guys, all of them showing really, really good flashes of speed. You see Kyle Buck up 10 spots. He's currently in 5th. And it's McDuff, Town, Rutherford, Stump, Albritton, your top 10 right now. As I believe Patrick Langley a couple of laps down off the speedway. Not sure what happened with that number 22 car a little while ago. Christensen back up to 11th here, Reed's got to get 5 more spots to get back to where he started. Of course, he started in, I believe, the 6th or 7th spot, did Reed. Justin McDuff right here outside of the top 5 looking in, trying to get himself another good run for this points season. Andrew Rutherford, he's lost a couple. Remember, he was up there in the top 5 for quite a while. Lost a couple of spots here, and he's got a good chance to get back into that top 5 too, though.
And I've been wanting to say something about him. Every week, pretty much we see him in the top 5 for the majority of the race, and just something bad luck always happens, and I hate to see it happen. Hopefully, he can get back up here in this top 5 on this hopefully to be the last green flag run.
Well, you say that, you might have said it too soon. As we go back green flag racing, we'll see what happens here. As Murphy, better start this time for him, as he pulls up to the rear door of Brian Hacker. The rear door, the rear bumper of Brian Hacker. Back behind them, the battle for 3rd right now, LeDuc and Dillon. LeDuc's going to throw a bit of a slide. Ooh, wheel hops him. Dillon wheel hops him here, Matt. That's contact. That's heavy contact for the number 7, and really puts a dimmer on his night, as he's now fallen into the clutches. Buck, Town, McDuff, Rutherford, all right there under a blanket.
Stump, McDuff, Rutherford 3 wide. Ooh, now a little bit of contact. McDuff's around, contact from Chris Stump there, and that is going to bring out another caution.
And he almost just got mollywopped by, oh my gosh, I want to say that's Jonathan Goodman. Yeah, Goodman, the luckiest man at Volusia Speedway Park right now, just about ruined that number 26 car as he was coming in flying. Avoids McDuff by no more than an inch there. We could have had something really, really bad happen, but luckily, oh, wow, what's going on here? Brandon Zachary, Dylan Sale, they're caught up there in turn number 2. Not quite sure what happened to cause that one there, but man, it looked like we were off to a great restart as Murphy and Hacker, they had a good advantage on 3rd, but those two were still super duper tight on the racetrack. So we will see what they can do on this restart, but that was about to get good again. And you hate to see it. Tough break there for Justin McDuff. He was up in that top 10, making challenges for positions, and now finds himself at the back of the pack here after being involved in this caution. Well, I believe just going to be around 10 laps to go once we restart this race. Unless actually we're restarting now, so it's going to restart with 11 to go. And we are back green flag racing. Bad jump there for Murphy. That gives Hacker a good advantage into 1 and 2, Matt.
Have James Murphy going to drive it in deep into turn 1 and get to his back bumper, but Hacker going to pull off on the bottoms. We got a little bit of a sketchy race here going on right behind him. Kyle Buck and Daryl Dillon slide up the track, making contact, and Town on the bottom there, making it 3 wide.
Absolutely.
A little bit of contact there too.
Yeah, we got what I like to call a bit of a kerfuffle here right now between Town. Dillon starting to fall into these clutches as well. Kyle Buck making some moves. Back up front though, Hacker and Murphy, they're right back with each other. This has been the battle that we have witnessed all night long, and it resumes right here with 9 laps to go. So here, Matt, we got Kyle Buck starting to make some moves on the outside of Jeffrey Town, trying to get around him for position number 5. Back up front, the advantage now less than a nose length, less than a tire's length, less than, I don't know, it's really little, Matt. It's a really little advantage right now for Brian Hacker, but he's pulling out of the stops. He is blocking every move that Murphy tries to make. Great job on Brian Hacker's part.
Yeah, and it looks like Brian Hacker's doing. He must be listening too, because he hasn't changed his line one bit. He is still running that same line he was running during their battle there earlier.
Absolutely. As he opens the door this time. Murphy to the bottom. We're going to be side by side off turn number 4 here, but looks like Hacker's going to clear him right back as James is going to have to pull out all the stops to try and get around him. And we've got an intruder to this battle. Ooh, caution, Jeffrey Town. Caution, Matt. That was about to get really good. As we've got yet another caution. Got a few cars spun out down here on the front stretch. As you had a bit of contact, 05 contact, 1 contact. Looks like the 35 of Rutherford down there on the bottom. Then the 2 machine of Town gets into the 98 of Stump. And from there, the caution ensues. Multiple other guys getting into it as well. So that will bring us our 12th caution with 5 laps to go, Matt. This just made this race. This just made the rest of this race very urgent for James, who was taking his time there. Thought he had about 10 laps to race. This one has been flipped on its head. Especially you got Ricky LeDuc right there. If these top 2 make any kind of a mistake, Matt, LeDuc's going to be there to take advantage of it. But so far, so good. Brian Hacker has been tremendous since taking the lead from Murphy early in this one. As that 17, we haven't seen him miss not one beat in this race so far tonight.
And honestly, I mean, these two have occupied these 2 positions for the entire race so far. Yeah, I mean, the positions have been swapped, but it's the same 2 drivers, which is pretty cool. And to see the racing that they've been doing, I wish we could have got more green flag laps, but. Guess we're taking the green. Yep, pace truck is off, and Brian Hacker's back at it.
Hacker's back at it. Murphy right behind. I'm going to be 3 laps to go from this restart. So we race into turns 1 and 2. LeDuc right there in the middle of the speedway has Dylan behind him. LeDuc with a good run right now. Seems like we've been talking to Ricky quite a few times here recently, finishing 2nd and 3rd, trying to notch his first win as Dylan slides in. Little contact from Albritton to Dylan. Sends Dylan up the racetrack down the front stretch. 2 laps to go, Matt, and your top 3 are under a blanket as Hacker's got about a car length's advantage over Murphy as we race into turns 3 and 4. This is for all the marbles. LeDuc way up the speedway and over the cushion. That's going to hurt him as your top 2 now under a blanket for the white flag.
Yeah, it looked like he tried to pull a Ross Chastain a lap too early there, but as long as Brian Hacker can keep the car straight coming off through 3 and 4 here, he has this win secured.
Absolutely. Hacker off turn number 4 dodges the bullets from Murphy and wins it here tonight at Volusia. Murphy 2nd, LeDuc does salvage 3rd, Dylan 4th, Albritton 5th, and it's Buck Christensen, Rutherford, Courier, and Vining. Your top 10 tonight at the Volusia Speedway Park. And further on back, rounding out the rest of the field here. 11th was Justin McDuff. 12th was Jonathan Goodman. 13th was Michael Hall. 14th was Chris Stump. 15th, Nathan Wenzel. Then it was Jeffrey Town, Brian Toller, Dylan Sale, Daniel Brown, and Brandon Zachary rounding out the top 20. Final 5 cars, Alan Carter, Colt Martin, Austin Baker, Patrick Langley, Joel Hodgden rounded out the field. I believe 20 of the 25 end up finishing the race here tonight. But what a battle, what a night, what a race for the Southern Outlaw Street Stocks here at the Volusia Speedway Park. And that's all I got to say about that. Tremendous scenes here as your race winner, Brian Hacker, does the dang thing here tonight, Matt. Doesn't get any better for Brian Hacker. As we will head down trackside and have a word with the man himself. Inherited the race lead early, and from then on hit every mark possible. Beautiful, beautiful driving tonight by the every other man, we'll call it, Mr. Brian Hacker. Brian, tremendous race all around, man.
Thanks, guys. I don't know if we were the fastest tonight, but I think a few things fell our way, but I think the 65 in our car were pretty hard to beat.
Oh, absolutely. You guys were, at times in a league of your own, obviously you had LeDuc, Dylan, Albert, and they were all fast. They were all right there. But you and Murphy seem to be having probably what I will consider battle of the year so far for these Southern Outlaw Street Stocks. Man, almost 15 laps there side by side. What was going through your head in that moment in particular, I'll ask, because, you know, where you were running right there, that middle of the low groove was working fantastically, but you saw him get a nice run on the outside. Did it ever cross your mind to change things up there where you kind of locked in on where you were at throughout that whole race?
No, he caught me a little off guard. I knew he was running kind of right in my line. Every once in a while, I'd hear him peek underneath me, and then next thing I know, he's getting a run on the outside of me. So that was a hell of a battle. I just, if it was 15 laps, that's awesome. I don't know what it was. It felt like forever, but it was great. And we were going at it, and he'd get a small advantage, and then I'd be able to catch up a little bit, and then I'd get a small advantage. And ultimately, I was just telling myself, like, right down on the bottom there, you gotta have a feather throttle, and I was just telling myself to calm down a little bit and to not overdo it. And luckily, when the next yellow came out, was one of those times that we had the advantage, and we were able to kind of hold on from there.
Absolutely, man. But all in all, really successful night. You continue the trend of every other race as we head towards next week. We go back asphalt racing. Oxford Plains, not a place that we're too familiar with here at TDTV, but I guess how are you feeling as we head up there?
Awful. It's that's a tough track to pass, and to have to do it from the back is going to be really difficult.
Right.
So you got to hold the bottom. There's a curb all the way around the bottom, and you got to hold that bottom. I think, with these things, after the tires heat up, you might be able to do a little bit on the outside, but it doesn't spread out a ton, so it's going to take a lot of patience.
Well, hey, I'm not one for patience. I hope you are, though. So yeah. Good luck to you next week. We hope to see a hard charge from the back to the front. Go ahead tonight, Brian. Shout out all of those all the cool sponsors on that number 11 machine who helped you get to victory lane here tonight at Volusia.
Yeah, I think first off, I'd like to give a shout out to James for running me hard and running me clean. That was a lot of fun. I know he deserves one of these wins, especially on dirt. He's been bad fast, so I think we're just lucky to hold on to it tonight. But on the side of the cars, Carbon Junction, Narrative Coffee, Aberdeen Lodge, thanks to my teammates coming out, Chris Stump and Justin McDuff. I know they got into some scuffles there at the end, didn't finish, maybe where they should have. But in the grand scheme of things, it was a good night for us overall. I know that the first half of the race had too many yellows, I think, for anyone's liking. So I know that Reed and the team will go back and take a look at what needs to be done. And, this league is growing, but we want to make sure that we're only letting in guys that are going to make it better, not make it worse.
Well, absolutely. I agree with that statement, but there's growing pains with everything. But for tonight, though, Brian, great run. Once again, congratulations. We'll catch you next week as we head to Oxford Plains.
All right, guys, we'll catch you then.
So that, of course, was race winner, Brian Hacker, driver of the number 11. And next into the booth, the man that gave him a solid run for his money, driver of the number 65, James Murphy. James, got a copy on me, buddy?
Yes, sir.
Man, you start this one on the pole. Now, before I go back and view it again, take me through what happened there. Did you get a penalty for jumping a restart?
Yeah, I messed up and pace truck pulled into my blind spot, and I just guessed, and I was too early.
Well, hey, as unfortunate as it may be, it gave me and Matt a tremendous race to watch there as you and Brian, lap after lap, side by side. Man, one of the cleanest races that I've seen. But take me through that sequence there, because it feels like you might have been listening in a little bit. I told you to try that high line. You got up there, and it stuck for quite a while.
Yeah, I wanted to try something. I know I couldn't pass him just riding right behind him, so I ain't gonna lie, I have you in my ear. Listen to the podcast.
Hey, it's all good, man. I totally respect it. You tried it, it worked, gave us a great race. You come home second here, one of the dirt ringers amongst the SOAR guys. James, before we let you go, anybody that you want to shout out on the car? Anybody in real life racing? Anybody you want to shout out before we let you go?
Yeah, obviously, I'd like to shout out y'all, Talking Dirt TV, big sponsor. I'm just now starting to get into this competitive racing. And you helped me get into it with a nice PC, so I'd just like to thank y'all. You're doing great every week with broadcasting and stuff.
Well, I really appreciate that. But I mean, obviously, you got to shout out all your real life stuff. Of course, McD Racing Partners, helping you out in real life, Talking Dirt, helping you out in real life, all that stuff. But James, one of my favorite guys at the real racetrack, of course, one of my favorite guys on the sim. Congratulations on a good second place run here tonight. And I guess, hey, if you plan on sticking with us, we got some really awesome asphalt tracks coming up here in a couple of weeks. But of course, one more dirt race to see if you can bring home that illustrious SOAR win here. But once again, congratulations tonight, James.
Thank you.
That was your top two. Let's see if we can go back here and have a word with third place finisher Ricky LeDuc. Let's go ahead and get him on into the booth with us here. Ricky, it's Ryan up in the TDTV tower. You got a copy, buddy?
Hey, I do.
Man, oh man. You, Daryl Dillon, Austin Albritton, you guys put on a tremendous race. Of course, Rutherford was in there for a while. Christensen at the start of the race. But, dude, that race for like third, fourth, fifth, that had to make some hair on your neck stand up there. That was some tremendous stuff there. Take me through some of this race because you guys were absolutely slugging it out, man.
Yeah, it was pretty hard racing. It's really hard to pass here, and just anybody you come up on, it's like how do you get around them? The bottom is really hard, and then at the top, if you just miss your mark by a sliver on the top, you're gonna lose a lot of position. So it's hard for a lot of guys to just stay in one lane and go. So there's a lot of passing and stuff.
Absolutely, yeah. It was fun for us to watch up here too, I assure you. But man, it feels like if the cautions hurt anybody in this race as much as we had them, it hurt you most of all because every time that Murphy and Hacker would go to battle for that lead spot, it just looked like you would start to reel them in, and then as soon as you get there, another caution were to fly. I mean, a bit of bad luck, but still, man, you were really able to show the flashes of speed out of this number 96 car. So, hey, to come home third, I feel like if that would have gone green, would have been a little bit more for you here.
Just racing hard, trying to get to the front, see what I had for them guys. Tough, man. It's tough not being able to start up front, especially with a poor qualifying effort on my hand there. So it's with these races, you gotta feel like you gotta start up front, or you got no chance winning. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, sure, but you got a chance next week. We head to Oxford Plains. Now, Brian said he didn't really like the track. If you plan on racing that one, do you gotta have what's your mindset as we head towards that tricky place?
From my experience with Oxford, the mindset is protect the bottom.
Right.
I mean, it is just a big bottom feeder. It's going to be qualifying, and I can see, some trickery with, like, trying to put yourself in an odd position for a, double file restart. At least
right.
I could see myself doing that because I even if I'm second, I don't want to start on the outside.
Ask him to send it single file. I hear you, buddy. I hear you. But yeah, Ricky, we're totally looking forward to that one. Of course, not a place that we're familiar with, so I'm really excited to see what it produces. But for tonight's third place finish, go ahead, shout out those sponsors, everybody on the side of that 96 car for getting you into the top three.
Yeah, Ribbon Oils on the car, and got Corliss Signs and Long Barn Performance and Traditions Concrete and Candler Tool Company, and you guys in the booth, and these guys for hosting the league, and it's been a lot of fun.
Hey, it absolutely has. Once again, we appreciate talking to you again. It feels like we're talking to you just about every week, but let's see if next week you can make that a couple spots better and talk to us first as we head to Oxford. Once again, Ricky, congratulations on third place here tonight.
Thank you.
So that was your top three, the top three from tonight's race at the Volusia Speedway Park. Of course, once again, your race winner was Brian Hacker. Let's pull up these results real quick before we head out here tonight. It was Hacker, Murphy, LeDuc top three. Then it was Dylan, Albert, and Buck, Christensen, Rutherford, Courier, Vining, top 10. Then it was McDuff, Goodman, Hall, Stump, Wenzel, Town, Toller, Sale, Brown, Zachary, the top 20. Alan Carter, Colt Martin, Austin Baker, Patrick Langley, Joel Hodgson, round out 25. Matt, all in all, successful night here at the Volusia Speedway Park here in Barberville, Florida. Next week, Oxford Plains Speedway. Guys, make sure that you do subscribe to the Talking Dirt TV YouTube channel here. Hit that like button as well on this video and share it around, spread the word. We've got some really cool stuff coming up, especially this Thursday night. The DOB Big Block Modifieds will be coming live to you at 9 p.m. Eastern right here on TDTV. But I guess at this time, for my broadcast partner, Mr. Matt Pridgeon, I have been Ryan Williams. Matt, you got anything else you want to add here tonight before we let the guys and gals go?
No, sir. I think we got it all covered.
Yeah, once again, great night of racing here tonight at Volusia. We do appreciate everybody for tuning in. Of course, follow us on Facebook at Talking Dirt. Follow Matt at Matt Pridgeon Racing on Facebook and TikTok. I've been Ryan Williams. So long and goodbye, everybody.